Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. Welcome. Let me get my devices set up and see if we've got sound. We do have sound, yay. Good. Very good. Let me get my other device set up. We'll get everybody welcomed in here. Alrighty. Sorry, I am just a little bit late, but that's what it's like to be Late Night Lori, I guess. So let's get this out of the way. Got a lot of stuff going on here. I've been working on trying to clean up some records. I'm doing some American Heart stuff and stuff for the college that I work for part-time. So let's zoom this in just a tad. So we're kind of to the edge of my glass mat maybe. There we go. So any of the Stampin' Up! Goings on you can catch at latenightlori.stampinup.net. So promotions that are coming up, when new catalogs get released, new products, kits collection, my store, all of that stuff you can find there. I don't really have that many announcements. We're on our last day for you to turn in your bonus day coupons. So if you earned them, make sure you burn them by tomorrow if you haven't already. You don't want to lose them. All right. So they become invalid after the 28th. Through March 2nd, you can take advantage of a super joining offer with Stampin' Up. It's always a good offer, but this is an even better offer than what is normally running, because normally you get to pick out $125 worth of product for just $99. You get free shipping, you get some catalogs, you get some business materials if you want to create a business, if you want to be a hobby demo, a kidnapper, a community coach where you just want to craft with some of your family and friends. However you want to run your membership, if that's what you want to call it, you get a discount on all your stuff of at least 20%. I think that's an awesome deal, and that's how I kind of came into it. I wasn't even really asked to join. It's so strange. So I had been invited to a couple of club classes with somebody I worked with, and I had gone a few times over the span of a couple of years, and I was looking at the catalog or something and saw that whatever bonus joining offer there was at the time, and I thought, I want that. Maybe I'll just be a kidnapper. So I grabbed my kit, got whatever that bonus was. I don't even remember what it was. Stayed because I really liked the discount and the fact that everything's color coordinated, got delivered to my door, and I didn't have to go to 5 or 6 different stores to find the things I wanted. And then I stayed for basically the fellowship. Hello, Bonnie. Welcome. So right now, if you've not joined, this is what you get free as a bonus. It's a new Stampin' Positioner. I've highlighted it a few times over the last month, so watch any of my videos and you'll probably hear my talk about it, show it off a little bit, and encourage you to join if you've not already joined. How are you today, Bonnie? Oh, and I should have said too, I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and we're going to pretend that it is still Friday, February 27th at 11:59 because I was a few minutes late. But I was listening to Juju and Craftin' on the Back 40. So, Juju. Your leg. Sounds like it should have hurt. Crazy. Last little announcement I have is this product of the month. I think it's going to get released on Tuesday. That's usually the first Tuesday of the month is when things get released. February is such a short month. I can't believe that it's almost March. So both times. Did you injure it first at home and then were going to work and then injured it? You heard it. I heard the second part, I think. Well, I heard it all, I think, when you were trying to explain it. But then it popped again when you were walking at work. Ugh. So are you off work? Does that count like as workman's comp? I don't know. So, product of the month. Stampin' Up! Is giving us a sneak peek. So we've got this Notes of Spring stamp set that if you have a qualifying order, so $75 or more in a single order, and that's before taxing and after any Stampin' Rewards or coupons or anything are deducted, so it's got to be like a net $75 order, then you can add this stamp set for $5. So that's a two-step stamping set, perfect for the new Stampin' Positioner. But the Stampin' Positioner you can only get when you join before March 2nd. All right, so here we are. We're going to do a little Easter basket. This I pulled out the other night. I did this a few years ago. I think this was the year that Stampin' Up! Was having their 35th anniversary, because I think that's when this paper was. So it's been a couple years. But it's super, super easy. So I thought we would do this. And depending on how time goes, maybe we'll do an easel card, because I have some things prepped for an easel card just in case. So we'll see. We'll see what everybody feels like. So no workman's comp, huh, Juju? Sorry about that, because it happened at home, right? The first time. So did you say you were in a walking boot for like 6 weeks? So Bonnie, you fell asleep during Juju's thing? 6 weeks in a boot. I was like, did I ever tell you about when I broke my toe? My big toe? I have to take off my little chicken sweatshirt because I got too warm. You get up at 7:15 in the morning. Well, yeah, sleep. I always say sleep is overrated, but maybe not. Maybe not. All right, let me put my sweatshirt away. So maybe it's good that we'll do just a short little project. We'll see. Who's got a 6x6 piece of designer series paper? And then who's got an extra? Well, it depends on if you want 2 baskets. Oh, I said I did. Oh, yeah. Okay. So it was the year that MacMan and I were getting married. So this was in 2012. So January, I'm home alone. It was during the day. I remember it was during the day because I tried to call MacMan to come help me and he didn't answer his phone because he was probably playing cop. And in my kitchen, when you go out the kitchen door, hello, Rosa. When you go out the kitchen door, I have 2 steps that go down to what we call our mudroom. And then there's 2 more steps that go down to the level of the garage, or at that time it was the driveway. We've since added on a garage. So I was going out the kitchen door, and I know the steps are there, but somehow I thought I could just levitate, and I didn't go down the stairs. I just kept walking straight. Don't ask me why. So, of course, I landed with a thud, and so say this is my foot and this is the floor. I landed with my foot straight down. My big toe spiral fractured. My little toe was sticking out sideways. And it was extremely painful. So I'm sitting there and I'm feeling the pain and I'm seeing my little toe out sideways. And I'm an EMT. So I'm thinking, okay, these are definitely broken. I know they're broken. So I kind of put the little toe back where it belonged, and it seemed like it was okay. But then I tried to stand up, and the pain was so intense, I could not even stand up. So I scooched on my butt back into the house so that I could get to my phone. I could not put any pressure on my leg, my foot at all. It was so painful. So I tried to call MacMan. He didn't answer the phone because he was playing cop. So because I was on the fire department, I called one of my coworkers and I said, "Hey, are you like busy for the next hour or so?" I wasn't crying or anything. It was just kind of this throbbing. You know, you break a bone and the bone doesn't have nerves in it, but so I said, "Are you busy for like the next hour?" And he's like, "No, what's up?" I said, "Can you take me to the hospital? Because I don't want to call the ambulance. You know, I don't want the whole sirens and everything." So I get there and I had a spiral fracture. And my big toe was about an inch shorter than it should have been because because of how I jammed it on the floor, the bone just twisted, shattered, and collapsed on itself. So I was non-weight bearing for, it's been a while. It was at least 10 weeks. It might have been 12. And then I was in a boot with crutches for several weeks. And then the crutches finally wet, but I was still in the boot. So when I finally got to where I could walk on the boot without my crutches, then I went back on the ambulance. So here I am, popping out of the ambulance with this big old boot on my foot. So I feel your pain, Juju. Oh, yours, I'm sure, probably hurts more because yours is the muscle, right? Bonnie, you broke your toes on an exercise machine? Oh, ouch. You weren't even using it. Ouch. Yeah, the muscle ones, I mean, if you can keep it immobilized and stay up on pain meds, it shouldn't be too bad, right? Yeah, the things we do. And like here, I broke this finger too. My kids have never broken bones, but I broke my toes, and I've had several broken toes. You know, we do that. But this I broke. I snapped it. I heard it snap, and the bone was kind of like hanging off, and the tendon was partially damaged as well. This was when I was doing Taekwondo, and the person behind me kicked my hand. Walking is dangerous. Taekwondo can also be dangerous, but yeah, I did get my brown belt after that though. So, you can survive. So anyway, let's get to this little basket. Who's got a 6x6 piece of designer series paper? I pre-cut this yesterday just because I wanted to, it's been so long since I did this, I wanted to make sure that I remembered how to do it, and I think I remembered, so we'll kind of play with it a little bit. But if you take your 6x6 piece of paper, and I'm going to make another 6x6 just so you can kind of watch what I'm doing. I'm sure you'll get it because you're all experienced people, but if somebody's watching on a replay, maybe they're not as familiar with some of the terms, and visual aids sometimes help. All right, so I have this piece of 6x6 designer series paper. This is what I want to be on the outside. So first off, I am going to score it at, let's see, 2 1/4 and 3 3/4. So 2 1/4, is that what I said? Yeah, 2 1/4 score. Let me move this over. 2 1/4, and then this one is 3 3/4. So basically, we've got like, we're kind of creating our base to the basket, okay? So we're creating this part. Now this one I didn't pre-score, but I thought it's a little easier if you scored, I think. So then, knowing that this is going to be the bottom, I want to cut perpendicular. So this one I did each of these slits at 1 inch. This one I did at also at 1 inch. I thought I was going to do it a little narrower. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up to about 1/2 inch so that they're not all the way cut through, right? So we're gonna cut from the bottom, and we're just gonna stop at that 1/2 inch. And then we're just gonna move it to 2. And we're gonna go up to the 1/2 inch. So I'm just going up to this mark, the 1/2 inch here. And if you're a little off, don't sweat it. It's not that big a deal. And quite honestly, we could cut this one all the way through, but just for purposes of ease, I'm just gonna leave it all together for right now. And then we'll cut it in a second here, because we're gonna make 2 little baskets out of 1 piece. All right, so there's that. Now I can go back here to that 3 inch mark, and let's just cut it all the way through. So now I've got my 2 pieces. So decide for yourself. If you want to do a 3x6 and just cut it into 3 slits, well, 2 slits, so that you've got 3 1-inch pieces, just don't disconnect them at the top. And if you do disconnect them, it's not the end of the world, because it's fixable. Then the other thing we need is some cardstock or coordinating designer series paper, because we're going to make a band across the top of this. All right. And then we also need a couple of strips of the designer series paper, and these I did at 3/4 of an inch. So I did 2 of them. So if you have a 6x6 and you only want to make 1 basket, just cut your 3x6 and then use this piece to make the pieces for the handles. And what I did here is I scored it at just under a 1/4 inch. I scored it at just under a 1/2 inch, and then I cut it at 3/4 of an inch. And I did that twice. So just under a 1/4 we're gonna score. Just under a 1/2 we're gonna score. And then at 3/4 we're gonna cut. All right. So what we're gonna do with these then is just fold them in on themselves. And then I cut the 2 sides that are just slightly under a 1/4 inch. That's so that you can actually glue it. All right. So I'm just going to kind of curl this a little bit. I'm gonna break down these fibers just a little bit. And then I'm just gonna open this up, and I'm gonna put some glue in here. You could use tear and tape. You could use seal. I'm just a multi-purpose liquid glue kind of girl. And once you attach this, you could probably even do it without gluing. I just think it looks better when it's glued, because if you don't glue it, then you have a little gap here and it just doesn't look as cute. All right. Oh, and actually you only need 1 per basket, but because I'm doing 2 baskets, I'm doing 2 handles. All right. So if you only want to do 1, just do 1. And making it stick and glue later, I think, is easier if I kind of rounded this a little bit. Who else has any injury horror stories to talk about? I fell in the middle of the street on a pothole when I was a kid, and if I didn't have bones in my legs, I probably would have lost the lower half of my leg. Is YouTube spamming anybody now? Because I'm not getting anything on either of my devices that I'm watching. So you're getting like ads? Oh. Really? I've had nothing pop up on mine. Of course, it might be because it's running kidney stones 3 different times. Oh my gosh, Rosa. Did they finally blast them? Did they laser them? All right. So should we use, this is going to be for a glitzy one if I want to do that one later. This is just going to be easier to work with. The paper that's got the foiling on it is going to be a little slower to work with just because I want to make sure the glue sticks. So we're just doing it with the regular Designer Series paper here. I wonder, it must just be you, Juju, huh? All right, so let's see. I made this, instead of 6 inches, I made it 8.5. 8.5 is going to be longer than we need, all right? But that's going to give me a little overlap. And then we can just trim off the rest when we're ready, all right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue this on here. And it doesn't, I think I'm just going to start flush, all right? So let's put a little glue. Do we want to use the Highland Heather or the, I think this is Bubble Bath. Maybe Highland Heather, huh? That looks kind of pretty. Bonnie, you must be pretty tough if you made it through your kidney stones 3 times. Oh my goodness, you almost died? Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't want to get septic. Juju will tell you that too. My nephew had kidney stones when he was 19. They attributed it to diet. He was drinking, I think, Mountain Dew or Diet Mountain Dew all the time. Yeah, you got to drink lots of water. So I think I'm going to do, oh, the Highland Heather. Juju, you said that. So I think I'm going to put the glue here till about the 3 inches. And hopefully I won't mess this up. This has been, I mean, it's been years since I've made this, so hopefully it'll be good. So we're just going to glue this on here. And then, oh, I should have probably curled that a little bit too. Low calcium intake. But I always thought guys had to be careful with too much calcium because it can cause prostate issues. Juju, have you ever heard that? All right, so what's going to happen here is that these are all going to get wrapped up and around. So this end one is going to get glued over here. So I'm going to put a little glue over here. This end, I'm just going to flip it. And I'm making like a little seat. All right. And I want to make sure that it's down under the edge of my basket rim. I couldn't remember what it was. Then this one is going to come up over here. So let's put a little glue over here. And then the last one is going to come up over here. Let's straighten that out a little bit. So they should all be pretty well aligned. Now, the first time I did this, or I think the person that I watched had all their strips just cut apart, and you could certainly do that too. But for me, this was actually just a little bit easier. So now I'm just going to pinch my fold lines here. So it kind of creates a little base for my basket. And we can glue this together here. And maybe I should have done the last one a little narrower than an inch. These were all, let's just scooch these out a little bit, see if that works. And maybe I shouldn't have scored them. I just thought maybe scoring it would work a little better. So maybe we'll try one without scoring it, because that, I don't like how that is there. But it'll be all right. All right, so let's put a little glue here. And we're gonna stick the rim to the rim. Yours were from dark soda. Clear sodas like Sprite are okay. I wonder if Mountain Dew is okay. Yeah, too much caffeine. Yeah, my nephew, that's all he drank was Mountain Dew. But I don't remember if it was diet or if it was regular. So now I'm just going to take my snips and we're going to cut part of this off. And then I'll put a little bit more glue just inside here. And then we can put our handles on. And I'm going to put the handle, I think, right next to, well, maybe we could put it right on top. That'll kind of conceal that. Yeah, Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew used to be my drink of choice. But now I don't drink much caffeine at all unless I need to try to reset my heart with some caffeine. I try not to drink too much caffeine. But a lot of people can't drink caffeine or coffee like after 6 or 7 o'clock at night because they say they can't sleep. It doesn't matter when I drink it. If I'm tired, I can drink any caffeinated drink and I can go to sleep. All right, so this one I'm going to put my glue on the other side of the handle just because I'm not sure exactly where it's going to line up. It should line up right, now that I'm thinking about it, common sense would tell me it's going to line up right between those other slats. So there's our cute little basket. Now this one I just put a ribbon around there, so we could certainly do something like that. What do I have? Do I have some peach pie? Let me go get some peach pie. And we could do that right around here. Hi, Yuda. And I'm going to make this so that it sticks in the front. And then we'll put a bow. Well, maybe if we just put the bow over on the side. Side or the front, what do you think? Let's just tie a bow and see what that kind of looks like. Oh, thank you for the hearts. All right, that's a cute little bow. I really love having my little bow maker. So we could put just the bow on the front. I think that would be cute. So let's do some tear and tape, because I think hopefully that'll hold all right. I would always worry about the ribbons, that they might not hold. So we'll see. I'm just going to really push it into the fibers of the ribbon and hope that that helps. That's very sticky. I think that's probably going to work. So let's just trim these edges and trim that edge. Liquid silicone. Okay, and then let's get a couple of glue dots. I don't have any liquid silicone. I've got a glue gun, but I don't want to pull that out. And I like to put my glue dots on each side of the knot. And then we can put that on the front to conceal that seam, kind of. And then let's see, what else can we put on the front? Maybe if I have some other elements from, I thought I had some more little flowers from the paper pumpkin set. Maybe we'll just put a little tag. The little tag would hide the rest of the seam. We'll do that. What do you varnish? The paper? See, that's all stuff I am not accustomed to doing. All right, let's see what we could put on there. Hello, friend. Let me get some Highland Heather ink because I think that would look good. Now you could make bigger baskets too, just by increasing the, size of your paper. This is just from a 6x6. It's actually a 3x6. That's a little crooked. But I think if I just trim a little bit off of here, nobody will know. Nobody will know. As long as you don't squeal on me. Oh, burnish. Oh, that makes sense, Bonnie. Burnish, varnish, burnish. All right. And then let's just wrap this around our bow. Should I put that inside? Because I forgot, I should have wrapped that around before. No, I don't have glue dots there. This is gonna work. Sometimes I just make things more complicated than they need to be. That and my messy desk. My working desk is even worse. So I'm just going to kind of snip those off so they can kind of add to the bow. And I probably should have put the ribbon down at the bottom of there because I'm not sure I like how that handle looks, but it is what it is. I could always make another one a little different. And there's that. So let's see what kind of candies can fit in there. These will fit. We'll turn them into little bunny butt nuggets or something. So how many can we fit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for sure. Now, if you wanted to put little tissue paper in there too, that would be cute, right? What do you think of that? But if I wanted him to be bunny butt nuggets, then I should probably put a little bunny on here. Or maybe hide the bunny inside. Oh, that could be cute. Put the bunny inside. That'll be cute. I had these bunnies from the Easter basket bundle. I had a few when we were doing these baskets, and I just put them inside to, I figured I'd use them at some point. I think the grandkids will love these. I'm going to have to take the candy out. Because the inside of this paper has some gold foiling. Bonnie, you have bunnies inside your basket when you made it. Did you make a basket like this or something? I don't remember. Did you send me a picture of that? I don't remember. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I was going to say maybe if 7 won't fit, I'll have to eat one, but I think I'm going to have to eat one anyway because my stomach is growling. Okay. Should I make another? Sorry, I shouldn't probably talk with chocolate in my mouth. I'm sorry. Oh. So I already posted it. Okay. See, out of sight, out of mind. That's right. I try to put them on pretty quickly so that I don't forget, but it happens. All right. Should we do this one? See how that one works? So basically you just need 3 by 6, and then you need one handle that's 3/4 of an inch. Score it a shy 1/4 inch twice. And then your little basket, if I had, so that was 8 1/2. So about 7 1/4 should work. So let's just cut this one down to 7 1/4. Oh, I should probably mark that because I can't hit a moving target. Well, I can't keep my place on my paper. I can hit a target though. I'm a pretty good shot on a good day. All right. So let's do the same thing with this one then. This one I'm just going to snip it here. So we can get 2 baskets out of one. We're going to put some glue on the back of here. One of your acquaintances has been posting pictures of her new hatched bunnies. Oh, I bet those are cute. We don't need pet bunnies because we just have bunnies running random in our yard. And we put a backyard buffet, little seed block out for them. They love Macman. He puts peanuts out for the chipmunks and the squirrels. We put corn out for the squirrels. We've got the backyard buffet for the possums and the raccoons. Whatever happens to float by. I don't know what the skunk eats. So, oh, I guess I gotta go. Oh, what did I do? I put that on the wrong side. Silly me. Well, let's just have a rim both places. Let me get another piece of that. Whoops. That's what I get for chit-chatting. Now let's put away some of this debris. All right. Which ones are naughty with the gardens? A lot of them are. The paper bunnies, not the real ones, yeah. And then we're gonna do 7 1/4. We'll just have lots of reinforcements here. Okay, and we're going to cut this down a little bit because this one's only 3/4 of an inch. All right, let's try that again. 3/4 of an inch. And we'll do 7 1/4. Good thing it's just paper. Oh, so Rosa, you're saying you like the paper bunnies. Yuda, you were talking about real bunnies. I thought maybe I really read something bad. My reading skills were lacking. All right. So we'll see how the shimmery paper works. Oh, that's funny. Oh, at first I read that it ate your mom's pants, but it ate her plants. Yeah, rabbits do that. I have to do a better job this year of protecting my garden because the rabbits really ate my stuff last year. So we've got the first set of 3 attached to the rim. Usually you just have the rim on the outside, but we're going to take this first one and we're going to curl it and tuck it. This might actually be a good idea to have glue on both sides of here. Let's give that a whirl. So we'll curl it and tuck it. Then we'll take the next one. We're going to curl it and tuck it. So that's right next to the other one. And then we're going to take that last one and curl it and tuck it. Now again, the other way to do this would just be to have strips that you glue down. But I thought this kind of worked. All right. So let's put some glue here. This could almost be like a Longaberger basket with the nice rim on the inside and the outside. Let's put a little bit more glue on here. Maybe I should tuck the bunny in there. Or the bunny might go on the outside this time. We'll see. I'm running out of glue. So these are really pretty cute. You could mass produce these probably easy enough. But you might not want to score like I did. You might just want to do the finger pinch like I did here. So I just lined them up and then I just did a little finger pinch around. And that might actually work better than scoring. Either way they work. They're cute. There, that's kind of working. All right, I've got another bunny in here, I think. Oh, you know something else that would be cute? I don't have enough of them cut. But you could put, I've got 2 of them. You could put these on here too. Wouldn't that be cute? And maybe just a bow. I don't think I've got any bubble bath ribbon. Do I have another bunny? I have another bunny. Let's see if I got... I've only got the same bunny left. And did you notice I put eyebrows on this? I pointed that out yesterday, that I did eyebrows on our bunny. And I think we're going to put the bunny on the outside this time, hey? You think? But I think these would be cute on here. I think I need to cut one more. Come on. Oops. I'm getting glue all over my fingers today. Oh, the one thing about these, though, is that they're slightly bowed. But that's all right. We'll deal with it. So they're a little putsy, but, you know, they're easy enough that you could probably put these together while you're watching TV or something. Oh, I did it again. And again. Let's see how fat our bunny is. If we put our bunny down on the front, it would work. But I actually think I need one more. One more. But I can do that later. All right, so here's our other handle. I think, oh, that's the wrong one. Where did my handle go? That's to the other one. I know I had them. Ooh, what did I do with them? Well, that's crazy. I know I have handles for these. Did anybody see where those fell? Oh, good Lord. They'll turn up. I just have to maybe not look so hard. Get the ribbon here. That's for that one. I had 2 of those pieces cut and ready to go. Oh, for goodness sakes. Here it is. I got a little buried. So this one, I think I'll put these handles on the inside of the basket. And if I would have planned ahead, I could have put it inside my 2 rim pieces. So learn from my mistake. Put yours inside if you're going to do a double rim, inside and outside. Put your handles on as you go. Now there's a little bit of overhang here. I could trim it. I don't know if anybody's going to really notice. They're just going to go for the candy, right? They're not going to see that little shim of overhung paper. Just hold that for a minute. Luckily, the ends of my handles here don't have any of the foiled paper, so that's a good thing. All right, and I'm just going to kind of hold these long enough so that they don't pop off, hopefully. All right, so I'll put one more piece of the scalloped edging, but I think I'm going to put the bunny over here to kind of camouflage that. And I'm going to put him on dimensionals just because I think it'll work. And that'll at least cover up that front piece. Now I do still need to slide these around a little bit because they're not quite even. There. That's a little bit better. You know, that didn't quite get lined up, so I'm going to try to put the bunny right over that. Because I didn't, they separated a little bit here when I was putting them together because I wasn't paying attention. Okay. All right, let's do maybe just a twine bow. Oh, we could do another tag if I had another tag. My tags might be gone. I might have used them all. So we'll just makeshift a tag. That'll still work. Has everybody seen the announcement for the new stamp pads? Excuse me. So starting with the May catalog, the in colors, the 5 new colors are going to come in a different stamp case. Oh yeah. You need to look at your weekly updates, Juju. So Tuesday's weekly updates are always important to take a look at. And I put something on my Facebook page for my team. So you would see a reminder there to go look too. All right, maybe that, I think that needs to be a little smaller. Who wants to see the new stamp cases? And here we're just gonna try to get rid of that scrap that's hanging on to me. I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna flip this over to this side, and I'm gonna use it as a template so I get the same angle on the other side. Hi, Allie. How are you? All right, and then we're going to put a little hole in this. It's from our little punch trio. I thought I had the name on one of these, but I guess I don't. It's this trio of punches. There's just a dot, there's a slit, and then there's that like tag topper. Good to hear. Good to hear. So let's hang that over here because that'll kind of help camouflage my seam there. And I'm going to see if I can tie a double bow. We'll see if my glued up fingers will work. I should have probably made that longer if I wanted to double it, but we'll just do it this way. If I put a little glue dot on there, maybe I'll just put it on with glue dots and see if I can get a bow on here. There, I think that'll work. And then we'll just put that on with maybe a dimensional. Allie, where are you that you're at a hotel and can't sleep? Vacation or business? Not that it's any of my business, but hopefully it's a pleasurable trip aside from the noisemakers. Yeah, let's do, I'm gonna do glue on this one. Maybe. And I think we need some Easter eggs. No, I had here. I still, no, I don't like how that looks. I guess not. I guess we won't do Easter eggs. But we can still fill it with candy. It's a rare day that I do not have chocolate in the studio. Oh, that one has a hole in the wrapper. I think I'll have to eat that one. There. What do you think? Hello, friend. Hello, friend. I think that works. And I'll just put one more little piece of scallop on there when I'm done. Kind of cute. So this was my basket from a few years ago. Luckily, I kind of remembered how to do it. 3 by 6, slit them in an inch. If you want to slice them all the way, it doesn't matter, but I kept mine about a 1/2 inch. Put your rim piece. So I had 3/4 of an inch by 7 1/4 to wrap around. When you glue it on, let's say you're gluing it on your rim piece. Oh, that still has glue on it. I could do this. I could trim this down. Maybe we'll just make this one bigger. Oh, I'll just move it down a little bit. All right. So then you take your outside piece and tuck it over here. The next piece, tuck it over here. The next piece, tuck it over here. And then close it up and decorate it. Pretty simple. All right. Those are kind of cute. And I don't remember, I mean, it's been a number of years. I don't remember who I saw come up with that. But like I was saying, they did the 3 individual 1-inch strips. Oh, I'm sorry. That's right, Allie. That totally slipped my mind. I am so sorry. I'm very sorry that I forgot. All right, do we want to do an easel card or do we want to call it a night? Yeah, it would be nice if that was a pleasurable trip, but it's not. But hopefully you'll have some nice time connecting with some of the family that's there, reminiscing, going over some good memories. All right, Rosa, you head to bed. We might have lost Bonnie. She needed to go to bed. Well, let's go ahead and save. Yeah, you got to get up in just a few hours. Let's go ahead and save the easel card for tomorrow. We'll just do our little baskets today. They turned out pretty cute. And we'll call it a night. Good night, Rosa. Sleep well. You're welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. It's always fun crafting with others. Yeah, it's nice when you can spend some time with the family. So enjoy what you can during this sad time. Thanks for stopping in, Juju. I hope your leg feels better. Don't overwork it. Are you off work for a while, or do you just still have to work with the boot on? Good night, Allie. Try to get some sleep. Still have to work. Well, don't overdo it. Hopefully you have coworkers that can kind of help take up any slack. Just, try not to injure it anymore, for heaven's sakes. Maybe I'll make those tomorrow. We'll have a few more. All right, Juju, try to get some sleep, rest your leg. Everybody else who's still hanging in there, enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for stopping by. Happy crafting.